Yeah, this is kind of a random thing, and it's why I'm calling it a random evening chat. And let's see if folks are gonna jump in here. Yeah, I tried messing with this last night and accidentally scheduled a stream and did not intend to do that. And yeah, so a bunch of people came in, and Jason sent me a text saying, "Hey man, what are you doing? You doing a live stream? I just saw something pop." And I'm like, "No." So let me know if everything sounds good or is working good. Hey everybody. Yeah, totally random. Don't have a topic really. I'm just going to kind of go through some stuff that I find interesting. If you guys want to chat about something, just shoot it over there into a chat. I'll notice the super chats, or if you, I don't know if the at thing works. If you do the at military arms thing, if that'll get my attention or not. But the super chats definitely pop in a different color. But anyway, so man, there's been a lot of stuff going on. So we just recently got back from a hunt in Texas. And that was really good. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you'll know that we were very successful in our hunt, and I was actually able to get a nil guy, and yeah, that's my second one, and it's so cool. And this time I got to do something I've never done before, and that was to hunt with a bolt action bullpup. I took the Desert Tech SRSA2 out in 338 Lapua, and I laid the smack down on that animal. What is crazy is we had 2 days to hunt. It's a massive ranch. Last one I took, we had to chase it for over 2 miles. So we go out on the first day of the first day of the hunt, the first hour, and our guide sets us up on 3 bulls at 200 yards away. And the rest is history. The video will be coming here really soon. We're having it professionally edited, so it should look pretty good. All right, hey guys, just saying hey to everybody as you're all jumping in. All right, so here's something that Jason sent me a text on. We were out filming today. We're going to release a new video tomorrow, and it's going to be a really cool video about something that I've always wanted. Now, this one's not mine. It belongs to the store, but it's pretty freaking cool. So be sure to check in tomorrow, probably around 8:30, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and look for a new video. Also, if you guys don't, be sure to hit the subscribe button, but also that little alarm bell, because so many people send me notes saying, "Hey, we got a super chat there," and I'll get right over to you here in a second. Let me throw it up for you guys. Here's the super chats. I don't want all that stuff popping up. All right, so what was I saying? Yeah, I got totally distracted there. Anyway, something really cool coming tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. or so. All right, using some new software here. Actually, not new. We've used it before, but it's new on this computer, and it's giving me all these little things. Okay, thanks for all the content, Tim. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. We are viewer supported. We are not supported by the industry. So, all right. So, hunt fun video coming soon. Tomorrow morning, please check out this video. Something I've always wanted, and finally, without giving it away, Colt made these available a little while ago as a limited edition. They were insanely expensive. There's an Indiana company making these things now, and I can't wait to show it to you guys tomorrow morning. Got another super chat, and wow, that just kind of got really small there. All right, man, thank you for the super chat, R.W. Smith. All right, so let's talk about something that's that Jason sent me a note on that really got my blood boiling, and that's easy to do, especially when it comes to politics, right? So today I had okay, we'll talk about what I did today later. Let's talk about this first thing that Jason sent to me. And let's see here. I should be able to jump over here really quick, and boom, there it is. Okay, so here's my little web browser, and a California judge ruled that a semi-auto rifle is not protected under the Second Amendment. Now, apparently, this California judge hasn't been paying much attention to previous Supreme Court decisions. We got a little super chat we're gonna throw in there. Thank you very much, Mr. Adams. When are we going to do another AK video? Matter of fact, we have one coming up because Jason just scored an awesome AK, and we're going to make that a subject of a video. Plus, we have a Polish build from Atlantic Firearms we're going to be doing here, and then we also have a Gen 3 PSA that we have in queue. So we got some AK content coming up here very soon. All right, so this California judge made this decision, and it's really disheartening because, well, first of all, it's going to get struck down by the higher courts. Based upon previous decisions, especially if it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. But just listen to this. So the district judge made the determination that semi-automatic firearms were not covered under the Second Amendment because they are dangerous and unusual weapons that are used in military service, not in civilian homes, and therefore not protected by the Second Amendment. Hello, the Second Amendment has been held that it does not protect hunting rifles. It protects specifically military-type firearms, and semi-automatic firearms are not military firearms. Yes, the military has semi-automatic firearms, but they can also be switched to fully automatic with the flip of a switch. And AR-15s are most certainly, and AKs and anything else that self-loads is most certainly covered by the Second Amendment, as are their full auto counterparts. Now, we lost that battle, but we should continue the fight to repeal the NFA. But beyond that, this is pure insanity, and the Supreme Court has told us already that this is not truthful. So this judge is going to do this, and it's really insane. Listen to this. They're citing statistics that do apply to actual machine guns. In her ruling, she cited congressional findings that semi-automatic rifles have a rate of fire of 300 to 500 rounds per minute that makes them virtually indistinguishable from machine guns. And you're talking about a machine gun, okay? So these people just don't understand what they're trying to legislate. And here we go again, and this is compounded now by this decision comes right on the heels of the most recent tragedy. I'm not going to mention the shooter's name. I'm proud that some outlets, mainstream media outlets, no longer mention the shooter's name. But a guy just went across the border, picked up an AK, from what I understand from news reports. I haven't caught up today, but that's what they were reporting yesterday. Went back into California and shot several people at a food function where it's some sort of a festival, some sort of a food festival in California. And again, we're hearing cries for ban everything. And that coupled with this California decision, not good. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see where it goes. But the Supreme Court, like I said, has already held that that's not in fact true, and a higher court should strike that down fairly quickly, but we still have to fight that battle in California. We got some more super chats here. I'm going to try to throw them in as fast as I can. I got to zoom it in. Okay, already did that one. Got to the AK. Here we go. Jack. Why do I have to keep blowing these up? Wasser 2, good pickup. Yeah, the Wassers are cool. Love the Wassers. Jason loves the Wassers. He's a big AK guy. I don't know why these things are coming in so small. Thank you, Justin. I don't want to get into a bunch of thank yous. If you guys have a question, be sure to post it. If you just want to do super chats to support the channel, thank you very much. We're not going to post them up. All right, let's see. Love your content. Thank you very much, man. All right, let's see if we're missing anything here. All right. So, here we go. Here's one with a comment or a question. Patreon supporter here, Tim, you're the best. Thanks for all you do. No, thank you for supporting us on Patreon, because we couldn't do what we do without that support. Now, what a lot of guys don't know, and we're not going to make videos about this, is talk about our activism behind the scenes. But we spend quite a bit of time dealing with that, and today was one of those days, and I don't know if I should get into the details of it, but I was working with GOA, talking about and this is going to segue right into the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight. Trump has put forth a ATF director, and his name is Canterbury, and let me jump over to the screen here again really quick. And this is the guy that Trump's putting forth now. In my conversations with GOA today, this guy is all over the map. Here's a guy that basically supported Trump through the elections, and this is kind of his political payback. Here's your job within the administration. Thank you for helping me get elected, type of thing. And that's not uncommon in politics. But unfortunately, this guy is going to head the organization that is tasked with enforcing unconstitutional laws. Making that worse is the fact that he does not have a very solid Second Amendment stance. Now, he'll go out there and tell you all day long he's pro-Second Amendment, but then he'll turn right around and say that he thinks that Sotomayor, one of the Supreme Court justices, is a very good justice, and that she has a good track record of making constitutionally sound decisions. Really? That is one of the most politically motivated Supreme Court justices on the bench. She is anything but objective and is anything but a strict constitutionalist. Not even close. So that should tell you quite a bit about this guy. Now he's going to have to go into his confirmation hearings, and what we're trying to do, working with GOA, is to try to get some questions asked. Hopefully, some friendly senators like Ted Cruz and some others will ask the hard questions that will force him out and to actually get him to say where he stands, and hopefully that happens. Now, realistically, are we going to be able to stop this? I don't know. The way you can stop him from being appointed is to blow up the White House's email. Go to whitehouse.gov, not com, .gov, and you can contact the president there. Also, you can call, and I suggest doing that and saying you oppose this political appointment. The guy is definitely not the right person to be heading up the ATF, which has extremely too much power. And that's a topic of a whole nother conversation. So let's get in here and see. We got some other super chats coming in. Thanks for supporting California. Absolutely, guys. You know what's sad is California has really gone from, when I was younger, an awesome state to live in. I was actually born in California. And in California, you used to be able to run the dunes. They banned the dune buggies because of the environment. Then you used to be able to own just about everything that any other state could own, firearms-wise. Now they are leading the charge in extreme lunacy when it comes to anti-gun law, so much so that most gun stores like Copper Custom and others can't keep up with the ever-changing laws, and they have a hard time selling firearms into California, although we're always looking for ways to do that. We definitely want to support California. We've financially supported California. We bought back a bunch of their CHP, the CHIPS firearms, their handguns, their service pistols. We bought a bunch of those at Copper, and we sold those, took a percentage of the proceeds from that and donated it to the gun owners of California in their political fight to actually try to undo the mess that's out there. So yes, we are very much interested in what's going on in California, because what they do will trickle down into other states. They're kind of a test bed, and when they see stuff get passed in California, the other states will take a look at that and think maybe they can get away with that same stuff. And we got to do everything we can do to stop that. It's kind of hard to keep up with all the states. I mean, we get questions all the time like, hey man, you see what's going on in New Jersey, you see what's going on in Connecticut, you see what's going on in New York, and it's like, it's so hard to keep up with the various laws. We're just trying to keep up what's going on, at the federal level. It's very hard to keep track of what's going on in all 50 states, but it's really scary because we saw what happened just recently after the Vegas tragedy. Florida went from the gunshine state to let's ban bump stocks and make it so only 21-year-olds can buy firearms, when that's silly given the fact that at 18 you can enlist in the United States military, go over, be given a firearm and fight and die for our liberties, but you can't come home and buy a handgun or a rifle? No. And I've never agreed with the age limit on handguns having to be 21. If you're old enough to serve in this military and fight and die for the country, then you're old enough to be trusted with a firearm at home as well. So that's something that's always stuck in my craw a little bit. Here we go. We got another super chat. What's up, buddy? What's your opinion on the Zastava AK-47 Zap or ZPAP? They recently made a comeback, and I'm interested in getting one. So I saw Rob Ski's Instagram post, and talk about a guy that's overly excited about a new product. Man, well, it's not a new product, a reintroduced product. So Zastava USA is up and running. They sent a gun to Rob Ski, or he bought one. I think he buys most of his guns. And boy, I watched his video on Instagram, and he's kind of as excited as I'm going to be in tomorrow's video with the thing I want to show you guys. So yeah, be sure, like I said earlier, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button, because we get a lot of people saying that they don't get notified of our new videos. I don't know what to think about them, man. I've seen good and bad. We've not had a whole lot of them. I've never personally owned one, but I'm looking forward to doing that and picking them up, because I want to support the importation of various firearms. Certainly AKs, anything like that, which is of interest to me from a military history standpoint. So we'll see. Let's see what old Rob Ski has to say, and then I'm sure we'll come across one here sooner or later. Hey, Alaskan Ballistics, my buddy, you're a Patreon. I know you caribou hunt next year. That's real AK Alaska content. 10-day Birch Creek float. I'm sorry, I don't have my reading glasses on, guys. I really do need them. or Dalton Highway, email sent, thanks for your second day fight. Yeah, man, I really want to do. I also saw one of the other Patreons, because it's really expensive, guys, to go up to Alaska and hunt, especially if you have to fly in to where you're hunting. It gets insanely expensive, and we just don't have the financial resources to do that. But one of our Patreons said that they would sponsor that trip. Now, I don't know if I can accept that. I mean, that's really generous. We'll see how that plays out. But I would definitely love to go up to Alaska and hunt. It'd be a lot cooler, more like our climate that we're used to here. I tell you what, South Texas was a booger this last week, man. It was hot, but thankfully we had waves of rain coming in, and it would cool things off to about 85, and then once the clouds passed, the sun hit, then we're right back up into the high 90s. But good seeing you on here, brother. Thank you so much. Let's see what we got in the way of super chats here. Got another one, and I'm gonna have to fix this thing, get it set up like my laptop. If you can't read this without zooming in, then you need glasses. Yes, I do. I actually have readers. So I started losing my near vision about 5 years ago. So my prescription is 1.5. So it's not like I'm horribly blind, but everything's fuzzy and it drives me nuts. Thankfully, I still have my long vision, which allows me to shoot rifles with iron sights at extended ranges, which I enjoy immensely. I don't know what I'd do if I lost that capability. Tactical Toolbox, what's up, brother? Guys, if you don't subscribe to the Tactical Toolbox, please go by and check out his channel. This is one straight shooting dude. He's got amazing content. I had the pleasure of meeting him at the TGC panel at the NRA NRAM show this year down in Indianapolis. I didn't actually go to the NRAM show. I didn't step foot inside, but I did go down just to hang out on the TGC panel. It was my first time getting to meet Tactical Toolbox. Awesome, dude. Hopefully we can do some collaborative stuff in the future, man. Thank you so much for supporting us over here. We'll return the favor. All right, here we go. Here's the big one. Boom. All right. Comment on Hank Strange and Forge for Freedom debacle. We as consumers need to know if buying the shirts actually supports our 2A channels. Well, most of the 2A channels have left. I've been told by the 20th of next month, my store will actually be down off Forge from Freedom. So I'm not going to get involved in the online flame wars. You've never seen us do it here at the Military Arms channel. We don't make response videos. We don't get involved in that. There's no winner in that. I mean, what's going on over there, I think, if you kind of watch and read between the lines, you can kind of figure out what's going on. Most of us have left, and, I don't support the ongoing war between the parties, and I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved with any of it. It's a zero-sum game. Nothing good comes of it, and you can kind of see that with Hank's last video. Man, did that blow up in his face. And so it's just, like I said, nothing good comes from it, man. Nothing good comes from it. All right, let's see. Thank you for the super chat. And let's see. Here we go. Here's a question. We love the questions. I'm looking for those. And I'm scrolling through because the super chats pop in color. More State of the Second and GOA and 2A activist content, please. Tim for President. I have no intention of ever running for political office because I would then become that which I despise, and that's a politician. I think I'm far better suited at staying outside of the political arena and being a critic and calling attention to their deeds. I don't have any intention of ever running for political office. It's just not something I want to do. I don't want to subject my family to that. I get enough death threats and nasty emails as it is. I don't think I want to go there. I think I'm far better off doing what I do best, and that's calling attention to all the misdealings of our politicians and even the companies out there. Take a look at what, oh man, this is a great one too. Take a look at what Midway USA did. So Potterfield doubled down on stupid. He made a public statement saying that he's going to support the NRA and they're great people and the leadership is just amazing. Despite the fact that they've lost two presidents now. Pete Brownell stepped down. He didn't do his 2 years. He did one. He stepped out. Then he resigned from the board because of the corruption inside of the NRA. Then Oliver North comes in. Oliver North is only there a year. He resigns, but he goes to Wayne LaPierre, who's crooked as a dog's hind leg, and he says, we have all this information that you've done, all the bad things you've done, all the corruption, all the mismanagement of the organization, so much so that the NRA really seriously risks being shut down by the state of New York. And if you don't resign, then we're going to make this information public. Information that we need to know as NRA members. I'm a life member. And he did his typical thing. He said he was being blackmailed, and Oliver North was kicked out, and there was a whole bunch of punitive action taking place behind the scenes. And the NRA is a hot mess. So how anybody can support the NRA, and Potterfield sits on the board. And he's buddy-buddy with these guys because they make him rich. They promote Midway, the Midway USA Roundup. At the end, when you buy something, they want you to round up so they can donate money to the NRA. They donate millions of dollars, which are squandered and wasted, not just in, thousands and thousands of dollars, of Armani suits and things like that being purchased, lavish parties, private jets, private security, all the stuff that goes along with Wayne LaPierre's, very, very, very generous lifestyle based on the dues that you're paying that you think are going to fight for your Second Amendment rights. They're actually going to put fine wine in his belly so he can fly all over the world and have a good time on our tab, not fighting for our rights. And Potterfield thinks that's good management. He thinks it's good management because he's profiting from it. And that is disgusting to me. So I no longer, now I'm not going to go out there and I'm not one of those guys that goes out and makes a video and says boycott, boycott, boycott. But what I will tell you is what I think and what I'm doing. Screw them. And I am not buying anything from Midway USA. I've never taken place in the Roundup, but the fact that he refuses to take the Roundup off his site, that needs to be publicly called out, and I have called that out on Instagram. And if you go to their Instagram page, you can see that they're catching a lot of flack for it. More and more people need to point that out, and then we'll start coming for other companies that are doing it. I hear PSA, Palmetto State Armory, has an NRA Roundup. Guys, you might want to reconsider that, because I will eventually get around to calling that out. Now, I'm not saying I back the GOA, but I don't care. Give that money to anybody else. Give it to Firearms Policy Coalition. Give it to GOA. Give it to SAF. But don't fund the NRA until Wayne LaPierre and that criminal cabal that's running the place is forced out and we get control of our NRA back, and then we can actually have a useful organization, because going into the 2020 elections, we definitely need a strong NRA. So we're not going to get there with Larry Potterfield backing Wayne LaPierre and his corruption. Hey, just noticed that Curtis here, VSO Gun Channel. Thanks, man. Good seeing you here, guys. If you don't subscribe to VSO Gun Channel, please check him out. Swing by, check him out. Known him for years. Good dude and great content. And let's see, scroll down here. Ooh, big one here. Alaskan Ballistics, brother. Here you go. Okay, when are we going to put these legislators who introduced gun control under citizen's arrest for dereliction of duty to the Constitution? This is something that I've seriously talked about. Now, and this is something that I've been pondering. I'm going to put it out there to you guys and let you guys tell me what you think. So, talking about this Forge from Freedom debacle and all this online fighting going back and forth, and all these challenges being made by various parties. I challenge you to prove you're more Second Amendment than I am. I challenge you to do this. I challenge you to that. All that is hey, look at me stuff. That's controversy. That's clickbait. That's all about growing your own social footprint. And how about we do something different? How about I make a challenge? And I'm proposing this. How about the other gun channels all get together and we pick a date where we march on Washington? Let's challenge gun companies, gun owners, and gun channels to promote this, and let's do a march on Washington, unarmed, peaceful, and let's fill the National Mall with gun owners and let them know going into the 2020 election we're not going to stand for any more infringements on our rights. How about that challenge? Right? Does that seem more useful than, hey, go out there and prove you're more Second Amendment than I am? I think it might be, and that's something that I would like to do. Now, I'm not criticizing my peers. I get along with everybody I can in social media, and I don't want to be involved in any flame wars. I'm just proposing this as an alternative to just the kind of clickbaity stuff that we're all accustomed to. And, so I think it would be a good idea. I'm going to go back after the live stream because I can't keep up with all the posts right now and see what you guys actually think about such an idea. Okay, I'm scrolling through. I just saw one here. Somebody saying, I've noticed you play games from EA, such as, here, let me just bring it over so you guys can read it. Bonk, put it over my face. Alaskan Ballistics, I love you, dude. I can't wait till we meet and actually go on a hunt. All right, hey, Mac, I've noticed you play games for EA, such as Battlefield 5. I assume you're not too in-depth to the gaming world, but EA has a very questionable practices as a company. Thoughts? I don't know their practices. You know what, man? Here's the reality of that whole coast, both coasts, the two left coasts. The reality is just about every Silicon Valley company, be it a gaming organization, be it a social media platform, they're all far left, socialist, communist liberals. And like, technically I shouldn't even be on YouTube because they don't like my policies and I don't like theirs. But we don't have an alternative. They're a true monopoly. There's no place you can go and monetize elsewhere. They are a monopoly in every sense of the word. And monopolies aren't technically illegal in the United States unless you start using predatory business practices, which they are, and they are now under investigation, I think, for the third time by Congress. This time I hope it goes somewhere. EA Games, if they're anti-gun, that's a bit of hypocrisy because they make all their money using simulated violence where people are using firearms. So it's just like Hollywood. You got these guys that go out and make all these gunfight movies, and then they come out and say, I'm anti-gun and we need to ban all these guns. Well, then why are you out there poisoning our culture, pop culture, with violent movies that really does have, and I'm not saying that we need to censor movies or anything like that. I'm a libertarian. I'm just calling out the hypocrisy. But you go out there and make all these movies that poison our culture, that tell people, hey, if you want to be a man, you have to, shoot somebody if they do you wrong. You're a man if you're out there slinging drugs and shooting people and standing up to people and, violently. That makes you a man. And you go out and you make movies like that and promote that type of thought. And then you have the audacity to come back and say, we want to take your guns away because you can't be trusted with them. And even more on top of that, in their hypocrisy, these are the same people that live in gated communities that don't want borders, and they live in their gated communities with armed guards. So they think just because they don't have the gun, that they're paying somebody else to protect them, that it's okay. They're royalty here in the United States if they're in Hollywood, and they play by a different set of rules. It's okay if their security guards are armed, but you can't be armed just because you work maybe a minimum wage job and you need to you work in a bad side of town and you need to defend yourself, or you're a female and you have an ex that's threatening you nonstop. You don't have a right to defend yourself because you can't afford to pay a security guard to be your private army. Hypocrisy. Sick of it, tired of it, but that's what we have to deal with, unfortunately. I hear these super chats popping in, so let me try to keep up with them here, guys. Hopefully like the format, man. This is completely random. I didn't set it up. I only had a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I think those are pretty much out of the way, and now we're just going to roll with what you guys are talking about. We're going to try to keep it to an hour. I used to have this little clock thing on here on my other computer where I have it set up where we can run, see how long we've been online. I know Jason's out there moderating right now. Jason, shoot me a text, brother, when we get to an hour so I don't go past. All right, so Remington R1, 110 millimeter, any good? I know it's a former Para Ordnance 10 millimeter rebranded. Thanks, Tim. Love 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter is back with a vengeance, and I am so stinking happy. I want to do more and more 10 millimeter videos. I'm going to break out all the 10 millimeters from the collection, going back to 10 millimeter double eagles from Colt, and I don't know. I got wild 10 millimeters back there. I'm going to go pull out some of the old Smiths. We're going to talk about new and old 10 millimeters. I'm so glad 10 millimeters on the rise. On this recent hunt, I went out. I had a Gunfighters Inc. chest rig that you're going to see in the video. I had a new Glock 40 MOS with a Trijicon red dot sight on it, and I carried that just for hunting purposes, self-defense in case of whatever, but there's really not much of a threat down there. In case something presented itself, a javelina, a pig, something like that, I was going to pop it with a 10 millimeter. But 10 millimeters back. The Remington R1, don't own one. I've not had a good history with Remington products, but I've not heard bad things about the R1. It seems like everybody says, there are various other handguns have problems, which I know all too well. The R51, the RP9, the RP45. I even got an RM380 that lasted maybe 100 rounds before it broke. Haven't even done a video on it. I got to get it fixed and maybe get another one. Just about every Remington product I get my hands on is absolute utter garbage, and it seems to be echoed by other people on the internet if you jump on the Facebook pages and forums, but the 1911 seems to be the exception to that rule. So maybe it's a good gun, man. It might be worth a try. I, again, haven't heard much bad stuff about their 1911s. Maybe one of these days I'll pick one up and see for myself. And let's see what we got here. Thanks for all you do. No, thank you for supporting us so we can do the stuff that we do. Like I said, I can't go out there and make a video and talk about all the political activism that we do behind the scenes. We talk to congressmen, we talk to senators. We're in constant communication with GOA. They've wound up being extremely good partners. GOA is amazing, and in our interaction, they are so hardcore about defending absolutely every single one of our rights, and to the point of going where the NRA will not go. They do want the NFA repealed. They do think that all these gun laws are unconstitutional, and that's what they're working to do, to put themselves out of a job. The NRA has never said that, and they don't want to put themselves out of a job because they're all getting filthy rich, just wringing every dollar they can out of you. So anyway, and I wouldn't, I mean, I've gone from, just writing letters and making phone calls like everybody else to actually having conversations with politicians and their representatives through a lot of it through connections that GOA has made possible for me. People know that I've spoken with them, worked with them. I had a congressman, a man that's running for Congress, I should say, that came into our shop, or maybe called, but the guy's brought me a message, and he wants to talk to me about Second Amendment policy. So I'm getting more and more folks reaching out to me that are running for Congress or Senate, and they want to talk about Second Amendment policies, and I love doing that. And it's only possible because of our Patreon support. It's amazing. I never thought I'd be in that position. So, what in the world? Holy cow! Dennis, super chat, $75, dude. Man, thank you. I love you guys. We have the best viewers in the world. You guys make sure that we keep things up and running. We simply couldn't do it without you. One thing that I've told the Patreons, you might have noticed that our video content has been kind of 1 or 2 videos a week, and that's because we're really struggling right now with the ranges that we're using. Many times we're having to use ranges that we ask permission to shoot on, and in one case, we have a range we can use pretty much any time, but there's a bunch of other people using it as well. It's a customer of Copper's, and I just feel bad using his range so much. That's about the only one we have regular access to. Jason's range, we have to be careful there because he's getting new neighbors, and they're constantly complaining, and we can't cause them problems there. I mean, it's just we're being pushed out. So what we're trying to do, my wife and I, is sell our house in the city right now and move far out of town. I mean, an hour out in the middle of nowhere. And we found the property, and if this can happen, you're going to see, and we'll know by the end of next month, you're going to see our video production go up substantially, because I'll literally be able to walk out on my back porch. I won't have to drive 2 hours to a long range. I won't have to drive 20 minutes each way to the other ranges that we use. I'll be able to actually film right there. So that's something we're really, really struggling to try to get done, and that should change, be a big game changer here for us here at the Military Arms Channel. Scrolling through, I'll make sure I don't miss any super chats. And then I'll scroll back and see what else I can find. All right, John Hall, super chat, $5. Local Patreon supporter here. Thank you, brother. Love our Patreons. And if you guys are Patreons, you know how much we love you. We're in constant communications with you guys. And if you're wondering why you send us a note everywhere else but Patreon, the reason you don't get a response is because I'm so busy focusing on answering the questions of our Patreons. They come first because they actually support us, me and Jason, and our families and our activism. Thank you for the awesome 2A content. Just sent my PO1 to Cajun. Good choice. We love Cajun. Copper actually does Cajun installs, so if their wait times are too long, give the guys at Copper a call. They can hook you up with Cajun triggers. But yeah, I love them, going off your recommendation. I was just carrying my PO1 compact today. You won't believe what I'm carrying right now, and I'm going to talk to you about that too. I think that's a good topic of conversation here. Let's see here. Did I already pull that one up? Okay, yep, did. Let's scroll down here. Boom. Mark Smith, $20. Thank you so much, man. Hi, Tim, longtime Patreon. Brother, thank you so much. You're over on Patreon supporting us, and you're over here, dropping Benjamins for us and supporting us. It means so much. Longtime Patreon, first-time content, comment. The glasses, I need them. I just don't want to be seen in public with my glasses. I'm so vain. And the reason I'm wearing a ball cap is because I'm going bald. There, you saw it. Have you ever been to OFAST S? It's in Wyandotte, Oklahoma. It's a machine gun shoot. Would love to see you there. If you ever plan on going, you and Jason are welcome to our home. Dude, if we make it down, we'll take you up on that. And I haven't heard of it. I'll look into it. Shoot me a note on Patreon so I can keep track of this, because I won't keep track of the super chats. And we'll see what we can do. We are going to do a lot more traveling next year. And we're going to try to schedule public events and public meet and greets, which is actually going to start happening right around September. My wife's going to help me with doing that, so we can actually get out and get to more of these events and meet you guys in person, because that's important to us. The one reason we have Copper Customs, Copper Custom has a storefront just today, we just got back in from filming. Jason and I are walking through, and there's 3 guys standing there, and they're just like, and it's kind of mind blowing to me still after 10 years of doing this. They're just like standing there in shock that they see us. And, we hang out with them, we shoot photos with them and talk to them, take them in back, show them what we shot the video on that you guys will get to see tomorrow. And, it's so important to us that we interact with you directly. We interact with our Patreons, and we want to interact with everybody that we can in person. We want you to know that we're real people, just regular Joes. We just got lucky with our YouTube channel. And, to have the following we have, we're very blessed. And we're just trying to do everything we can and to keep it real and be real people that are accessible, so you can reach us and chat with us. We're not, we don't think of ourselves as celebrities, because we're not. There's famous, there's internet famous, and I wouldn't even argue that I'm internet famous. There's so many gun channels out there, 50 times our size. All right, Super Chat, Chin Bucks, thank you so much, brother. Can we add that Joel 4NRA guy to the list of NRA board retirees? His statement was very condescending and cynical of the lay members. I didn't catch what he said, but I will look into that. There's a lot of bad apples, okay? I would say the vast majority of the board are in Wayne's pocket, and they're going to do everything they can to keep that man in power, and that's obvious. I think when Oliver North went to Wayne, he probably had a minority of board members with him. I would guess 30 or less. And keep in mind, they have 76 board members. And it just wasn't enough to make Wayne leave. He knew that he didn't have a majority. And he wasn't scared of him going public with the corruption, which is now out there. All the news media is running with it because Oliver North exposed it anyway. And still people are backing them. And people have the misconception that we're trying to destroy the NRA. We're absolutely not trying to destroy the NRA, folks. Get that out of your heads. We're trying to fix the NRA. Okay? I'm not saying we need to burn them to the ground and get rid of them. We need to fix the NRA. And we can only do that by cutting their funding off, forcing the money grubbers like Wayne and his cabal out, and getting true Second Amendment supporters in there. Okay, Ken Little, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Greatly appreciated. No question or comment, so I don't want to stick it up there. All right, let's see what we got here. $5. Thank you, Talking Gear. I assume you have a YouTube channel. Check it out. Check it out. Stream quality has been lowered because the internet connection was not fast enough. Sorry, guys, you see the quality going down. I'm at my home internet. We have much faster internet at the shop, and so I think it just took a step down. I think we just went down to like 720. I apologize for that. Okay, heard the Noblex doctor had a recall. Can you confirm that? Absolutely true. They did. And do you plan on doing a full review on it in the future? Yes, I broke mine, and I still have it, and I will return it once I get the replacement. I think they're saying late August we get the replacements. They had some problems with the lens and it not being durable enough. I had a problem with making sight adjustments, and the little tiny Allen head screws stripped out, couldn't make sight adjustments, and so it is dead. So it's small, it's light, it looks awesome, and for the short time that I was trying to sight it in, I was really, really interested in it, and then I couldn't make any more adjustments because I broke it. So there is a recall. Absolute truth to that. Okay. VSO, brother, you're dropping me money. $20. Curtis, I'd say I beat your ass, but you're too big. All right, man. Thank you for the support, brother. I have to jump in one of your live streams and return the favor. Thanks for being a leader on the NRA situation. Keep running those guns hard. Brother, you keep running your guns hard too, man. I mean, a lot of people say that this whole thing in social media about the NRA and bringing light to the corruption, they lay that at my feet. I don't think so. There's other people out there that have been very vocal. Some people that maybe you guys don't like because of their content, but Yankee Marshall's been out there fighting the NRA, and he warned me because I've been anti-NRA for the longest time. I knew they were corrupt long before. There's only a 5-month period that I supported the NRA. That's because Pete Brownell contacted me, sat down, had breakfast with me, and said he wanted to reform the NRA, and he wanted to recruit people like myself to be a voice in social media to help him achieve that goal. 1 year in, he realized he couldn't achieve that goal. It was just, not something he could accomplish, and he stepped down, and that's when the whole Vegas thing happened, I quite publicly disavowed myself of the NRA for whatever reason. That made the blogs. That even got calls and interviews from NPR and Reuters and other news organizations about me dropping them. I couldn't believe the attention that it got. But I can't take all the credit for that, man. There's been a lot of good folks in social media that, and yourself included, man, that have carried this on. And yeah, it's not just me. It's all of us collectively. All right, let's see what we got down here. Trying to keep up. Make sure we burn through the super chats here. Oh, here's a couple more. All right, keep up the good work. Thank you, brother, and thank you, man. Thank you so much for the support. I'm just checking here. Bad eyes. I got to see what you're commenting by pulling it in so you guys can see it. We need to march armed and in kit to make the point, guys. I don't want us all to get arrested. I don't want it. So look, we have to be political when we play politics. And yes, I would love nothing more than to go in there, drag all those Congress critters out, tar and feather them, and then say, guys, if you continue to crap on the Constitution, the next time we come back, it's not going to be tar and feathers. But that's a little bit radical. That could get us all in a lot of trouble, and it wouldn't play well with most Americans. So we got to be political in doing this. So I don't want to go marching in Washington, D.C. armed. You're going to get arrested almost immediately because just about everything you would go armed with has been banned in Washington, D.C. I think we can make a bigger statement by showing up and having a peaceful protest and filling the National Mall with gun owners and saying no more. And I'd be glad to speak there. And I know there's a lot of other folks out there, bloggers and television show hosts and YouTubers and just other people. I mean, I would love to meet with somebody and hear what they have to say and put them up on the stand in the National Mall and let them speak. I don't need to do all the speaking. I'm not like the hey, look at me guy. Matter of fact, I hate public speaking, and it's kind of funny given the fact that I'm running a YouTube channel and I'm in the public eye all the time. But I'm more reclusive. But yeah, I totally admire your dedication, man. Hey Mac, do you think? Thank you for providing all this info to your fellow Americans. How has the 224 Valkyrie been for you? Do you think it replaces a 6.5 Grendel? So, good question, and we do need to make a follow-up video if you want to learn more about. So, I'm not a real big reloader. Maybe if we get the new property and we get to the range, I may get back into reloading. I have 3 presses that have set silent for over 5-6 years. It's just I don't have the time to reload. But the 224 Valkyrie really burned bright there for a minute, and then all sorts of problems started to come up because I don't think the cartridge is fully developed. Well, I think the cartridge was developed, but the specs for the barrel, the rifling twist, the chamber specs, things like that weren't good. And so if you take a look at Iraq veteran, especially Chad over there, he's done a lot of hand loading, and he's kind of come to the conclusion that based upon the barrels and chambers that we have currently right now, the 224 Valkyrie just isn't living up to its accuracy potential. So for that reason, it's not something I've talked a whole lot about. I think the best I've been able to get out of any one of my 224 Valkyries is maybe just over a minute, and it really should be half a minute for it to be a true 1,000-yard cartridge, which is what it's touted as. I know it's capable of, but it just needs that accuracy component. So I hope that the development continues. I don't want to see it die. But the 6.5 Grendel, it's here to stay, man. That is. We're going to do a video on my favorite hunting calibers. I was thinking about that today, and I didn't bounce it off Jason, but 6.5 Grendel is probably one of my favorite hunting calibers. It's amazingly powerful. It'll fit into a standard AR-15 chassis, and it just replace a barrel, replace a bolt. You have a 6.5 Grendel, and it doubles the power of the rifle from 223 to 6.5 Grendel, and it doubles the range. I mean, at 500 yards, 5.56 just has no power left. It's just not an effective caliber at 500 yards. 6.5 Grendel pushes that out to 1,000 yards. We actually shot some B-roll footage of a 6.5 Grendel ADM that Copper has special built for them that's only available through Copper that we're running out there testing, and we're going to do a video on that and showing that even with the Wolf steel cased affordable ammunition, which is the same price as 7.62 by 39, we're able to hit a 1,000-yard steel target with practice ammo. Then when you step up to the match ammo, it really delivers the goods. I've hunted with it, took an Axis buck, one shot, down it went. The video's up on my YouTube channel. 6.5 Grendel is the way to go in my opinion. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Northwest Indiana. Heck yeah. Although if I make this move, I'll be mid-Indiana. trying to get away from the northwest part. The taxes and the inability to have a good range up here is really kind of killing it and kind of stifling the growth of the channel here. The one guy you know, super chat, $4.99. Thank you so much, man. Have you seen where FEG is supposedly going to start importing Hungarian-made Dragunovs? And if so, do you think there is any validity to this? I know for a fact there's validity to that. Yeah, I think they're going to make it in. What condition they're going to be in, I don't know. FEG is tooling back up. The company completely shut down. New investors came in, bought all the tooling. We met with them at EWA, which is the German or the European version of SHOT Show. We went out there this year because Copper's looking to import things. FEG is one of the companies that Copper's looking to import from, so I can tell you for a fact that yes, it's true, and hopefully it comes to fruition. Although they're really kind of screwing up their social media, man. They're going out there making really dumb posts. They're going to kill it before it even gets started. We're trying to tell them to stop. But anyway. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Vermis06. Thanks for the content and the good fight, man. OSS. Oh, sorry, man. Without Solon. Okay, sorry. Shots the other day was blasting front firearms, hands bad. Ever noticed similar. Let's see. Shots the other day was blasting front forearms, hands bad. I'm not sure what you're saying there, man. I'm sorry. Either I'm tired or my eyes are bad or both. Or I'm just getting old and doty. I wish I could answer your question, man. Crackpot. Thank you for the super chat, Tim. Make sure you don't have yourself at a single point of failure. Don't depend on Patreon. Look to Subscribestar and Streamlabs. Okay, so we do have a Subscribestar. Matter of fact, if you look in the bottom of most of every video we post, this one I need to update it because this was just a quick live stream. I don't have the information in there, but we do have Subscribestar. So for those of you that don't want to support Patreon, Subscribestar, we do have an account. We've had one for about half a year now. And it just seems like most people go to Patreon. We only have 60 or so supporters over on Subscribestar, but it's there and an option for you guys. And we've started posting our content over there as well. Oops, I forgot to post the video, tomorrow's video over there on Subscribestar. I'll have to do that next time. All right, let's see. Thank you for the super chat. John, have you heard about the Slingshot channel guy? Let's see, forming YouTube's union. Yes, IG Metals in Germany sounds like it could cause a big ruckus. Yes, I caught Ian Forgotten Weapons. I caught his video. Some folks sent me the link. I watched it, and yeah, I'd like to see what happens because I don't know if it's just going to affect European YouTubers or if it will cascade over into what we're dealing with here in the United States. But something definitely needs to be done. Look, I'm all about private property rights and all that other stuff, but when a company like YouTube goes to Congress and petitions to be covered under laws to where there are a platform, not a publisher, and they want legal protection so they can't be sued, and to meet that requirement, they can't moderate or censor the content. Okay, if they do that, they become a publisher. As a publisher, you can be sued for the content that appears on your page, on your publication. As a platform, you're immune from that. That means you're not censoring anything, you're not moderating anything, and if somebody does or says something stupid, that individual can be sued, but YouTube can't. They want that protection, but they want their cake and eat it too. So they also want to go in there and say, no, we don't want Alex Jones on here. We don't want this conservative. We don't want that conservative. We don't want gun channels. But hey, we still want the protection that we would have as a platform, but we want to act as a publisher. Sorry, guys, it doesn't work that way. And hopefully Congress busts here for doing that. It needs to stop. Pick one and go one way or the other. But what you're doing now is not even compliant with U.S. law. All right. Yes, I support that union. I think I tried to join. Something happened. I can't remember what happened there, why I couldn't do it. Super chat, $20. Thank you so much. Any word on the PSAKE release date? Nope, they don't give us information, at least not me. I'm not that tight with manufacturers. I know a few, but even those that I'm tight with, I have a tendency to anger them. Take CZ, for example. You know, I picked up a rifle from Big Daddy Unlimited. They sent it out for us to do a video. It was a 527 American, 7.62x39. Really excited about it. I had fitment issues. And overall, I just wasn't impressed with the quality of it, which was kind of shocking to me. And I think I kind of upset them with that. But my loyalty is to you, the audience. I have no loyalties to any companies. Companies do not pay me to talk about their products, and therefore I am not obligated to pull my punches. I'm going to say what's on my mind. That's just who I am. That's the way I've been since the beginning of this channel, and that's just the way it's going to be. Can't do it any other way, not in my personality. All right, here we go. Thanks for all the activism, Mac. Well, you're welcome, and thank you for making it possible for us to fight, because I definitely want to continue the fight, and I know Jason does too. That's something, look, man, I realized a long time ago, at first I didn't want to get into politics, I just want to talk about guns, but once I started to get a voice after a couple 100,000 subscribers, I started to realize if I just sit back and let these proposed gun laws go through and I don't use the voice that you've given me and I don't do something with it, then I feel like I'm being remiss. I'm not doing everything I can. I can't go out there and make a living in the Second Amendment space, but not raise my voice, and fight for Second Amendment rights. It seems like I don't want to rock the boat because I don't want to interrupt my revenue stream. Which is more important, my revenue stream or the future of the country for my children? I'm always going to choose the future of the country for my children. So if me attacking the NRA, which everybody was kind of sitting back watching what was going to happen when I did it, if me attacking the NRA means I lose subscribers, all right, it's not what I want, but, I got to do what's right, and I have to lend my voice to that because I have 3 children, and I want those children to grow up in a free country and enjoy the liberties that I've watched dwindle away just in the 50 years I've been on the planet. The country I grew up in is nothing like the country we have today. I mean, McCarthyism is back. If you take a look at the squad that the media is talking about, this is McCarthyism all over again. Either you play by their rules or they're going to blackball you. They're going to throw you off social media. They're going to take away your revenue. They're going to put your family on the street, all because they don't agree with you politically. You will never hear me say, I don't want that person to earn a living because they don't think like I do or they don't share my values. That's just sociopathic, and I don't do that. And that's why you don't see me talking about Democrat versus Republican. I'm a libertarian, and I've watched the Democrats and Republicans both screw us over equally in my lifetime. As a matter of fact, in my lifetime, more Republicans have signed anti-gun laws into bills into law than Democrats have. Now, it's not for a lack of trying on the Democrats' part. They've tried, but it seems like gun owners are more aggressive and more awake when a Democrat's in office. But when a Republican gets in office, everybody goes to sleep, thinking the Republican's going to save them, and the Republicans slide in all sorts of anti-gun bills. Take a look at Bush 41. Well, start with Ronald Reagan and the 86 machine gun ban. Then you go to Bush 41 with the 89 import ban. Then you go to Bush 43, and then you go to Clinton. Well, he wasn't a Republican, but that was the one big thing that the Democrats did. But thankfully, theirs expired in 10 years. So the 1994 ban expired in 2004. All the stuff the Republicans have stuck us with continue on today. And then you have Trump going out there saying he wants to take away suppressors. He's banned bump stocks, and he just wants to keep doing in-runs around Congress. And with this ATF director I was talking about, this Canterbury dude, I want to know if this guy, if he's given an order from the President of the United States, and the President says, hey, go out there and make suppressors go away. I don't want this going through Congress. I don't want to vote. I just want to make them go away, make it happen like you did bump stocks. I want to know if this ATF director is going to do that. I think he will. If he supports Sotomayor, he definitely will. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. We do not want him as our ATF director. All right. Let's see. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Caesar. Let's get through the super chats here because I feel obligated for those. And guys, let us know after we're done with the stream here if you like this type of format, just off the cuff. This is kind of, I could actually make this part of the State of the Second, although I think I want to do that as a standalone thing. But yeah, I can take your questions and answer them and do this kind of real-time interaction. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it. All right, let's see. $9, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do in the community. You were one of the first people who got me interested in guns, and my first gun was a Malott Vepr 12. Awesome, man. Keep in mind, if you put a red dot sight on it, don't put it over the ejection port. It'll cause malfunctions. Move it all the way back to the top cover. Jason just found that out with his. He's like, man, I can't believe that. I can literally hold a Vepr 12 gauge and pinch the top cover right behind the front or rear sight and cause malfunctions. But put that little red dot sight further to the rear, and it'll run fine. Great shotgun. And see if you can still get some of those Russian 8-round mags. They're like $100 or more now. But those are the best magazines out there for it. Great gun. All right, let's see what we got here. Hey, Tim, another Patreon supporter here. Thank you, brother. Guys, I love it. You guys are supporting us over on Patreon. You're coming over here supporting us in the live streams. Greatly supported. By the way, we're going to try to do a live stream tomorrow night. Waiting to hear back from Jason. I think we're good, but we're going to do a Patreon live stream tomorrow night just for you guys. Let's see. Patreon supporter here. When will you review another 3D printed firearm? I don't think we've done it. Actually, I had a guy reach out to me. I need to follow up with him. He wanted to send me some 3D printed stuff, magazines and firearms and stuff like that. The only question was, could he send me a 3D printed firearm without a serial number? But we are an FFL SOT. I believe that we can, but we're checking with the ATF to make sure that I can receive that. But I would definitely like to do a video talking more about 3D stuff. I also noticed recently that the cost of metal 3D printers is starting to come down. So if those things get down to where they're affordable and you can actually start printing metal 3D parts, you're going to see a complete game change. And this is going to scare the heck out of our government. The government doesn't want us out there making our own firearms off the radar. That scares them, and it should scare them, and they should be scared of us because they rule by our consent. It's a different type of government. Right? This isn't a monarchy, an oligarchy. This is, and it's not a democracy. This is a republic. And we rule, or they rule us by our consent. And when they no longer serve us and they no longer have our consent, then it's our obligation to get them out of office any means necessary. Peaceful, preferably, but our founding fathers put that kill switch in there called the Second Amendment. And if they won't leave, that's why we have a Second Amendment. It's not about, hunting rifles like that California judge wants you to think it is. It's actually, we should be able to own M16, M60s, 240 Limas and Bravos. We should be able to own everything that the military does because we are the militia and we are that critical check and balance for our government. And that's why I say all gun laws are unconstitutional. And some people within our own community think I'm over the top and crazy. And I guess I'm crazy like our founding fathers were crazy. $50, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for... thank you and your stalwart perseverance in your efforts. I'm happy to say I'm a 10 millimeter convert. No better caliber out there. I have a Glock 40 in the shop now for a ridiculous theme build with a brace, and it's all your fault. Well, yeah, I think we probably need a community, like a support community for like wives and significant others and stuff like that, and just even gun buyers, because when you get online, you start watching things, it just kind of reinforces your desire to purchase something. I know the feeling, man. When I see something new pop up on the market, I just want it so bad. That 40 MOS really caught my attention, and I'll never figure out Glock's naming conventions. I'm interested in seeing what the theme build is. All right, $20. Thank you so much, brother. Longtime viewer, local customer to Copper. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the guys at Copper. Out of Michigan City, thank you for what you're doing and you're doing to protect our rights. Like I said, guys, couldn't do it without you, and there's a lot of us out there fighting the battle. It's not just us, but we take it very, very seriously. We could just sit back and do gun videos and not get involved in politics, and maybe we would grow even faster if we did, because political discussions has a tendency to alienate people. I would hazard a guess to say that 30% or more of our viewers self-identify as Democrats, and I don't want to turn them away. Just because you don't agree with me in everything politically, the fact that you support the Second Amendment and you understand its importance within our republic, then, you're part of our brotherhood. And, I don't care what your political affiliation is, as long as you support the Second Amendment and the Constitution in its whole. All right, let's see what we got down here. Bam, another super chat. Kinky, thank you, man. What can you recommend 9mm to use with a 22 long rifle that sounds the best? Already got the rugged Obsidian 9, planning to get more cans soon. Okay, what can you recommend 9mm to use with 22 long rifle that sounds the best? I don't really run a whole lot of 22s through 9mm size cans. I know it's really popular because cans are expensive for people to use multiple calibers. There's a can, I'm forgetting the name of it. It's old man brain, from Griffin Armament. It's a multi-caliber can. We played with it. We shot it from 22 all the way up to 300 Win Mag, and it seems really good. But see, keep in mind, when you're using a multi-caliber can, they're not really good at any one thing. They're just okay at many. So it's a good transitional thing. But if you really want a good 22 can, I've had good luck with the Griffin Armament 22 cans. I've had good luck with the Dead Air Mask. And I think those are the two I run primarily. And I really like the tri-lug adapter that I use with the Griffin can. It's really, really slick. And yeah, if you run a 5.7, you know, you have like a PS90 or something like that. I've SBR'd mine. It's kind of cool being able to run one of those little 22 cans on the 5.7. Overall cool package. So that's what I recommend. 9mm, get a good can. I really like the Griffin Armament Revolution 9 because it gives you, you know, a full baffle stack. You can pull out, I think, 3 baffles and shorten it to a K model, and you'll see me run those things all the time on my guns. I really, really like that option, so you can, you know, adjust how much volume you have in the can for how much suppression you really want versus size, because sometimes size does matter. All right, let's see what we got here. Boom, we're moving through these really quick, guys. Thank you so much. 25 bucks, thank you. Let's make it an even 100 tonight. I enjoy your honest content. Thank you, man. That's one thing that we've always prided ourselves on, is trying to be as honest as we possibly can. Keep in mind, guys, I will not deny the fact that all humans have biases. I am biased towards certain things. I'm biased towards the 10mm. I'm biased towards CZs. I love how they feel in my hand, you know. So you have to understand that. And I think it's pretty crystal clear in my videos what I like in terms of basic features and what products I like. Companies I've bought from for years. Glock, I love Glock. You know, I mock them, make fun of them, say they're a one-trick pony, but their one trick is darn good. Look, I'm talking about the 40 MOS. Absolutely love the gun. But there's this is a good segue into what I need to talk about now. You know, some folks don't really watch the channel in its entirety, so they go out and they make a bunch of wild assumptions. And so people are kind of giving me a hard time right now. Even some of my Patreons are saying, man, drop the P365 thing. It's a dead horse. Quit kicking it. I don't want to, because I'm truly evaluating the gun because I really want one that works. Sig innovates. I don't hate Sig. Sig innovates. Sig does things I wish Glock would do. Had Glock came out with the P365, they would have rocked the marketplace. And Sig came out with it, I think, you know, and obviously the original, if you follow me on Instagram, I showed some of the evolutions of the Strikers where Phil Strader said, there's no problem with the Striker. It's got, you know, industry low failure rates, but yet they've changed it at least 3 times based on the guns that I have, and probably 4 based on pictures I've seen on the internet. And they've finally, the P365 XL right here, I'm carrying the gun right now, guys, because I've got enough ammo through it where I'm starting to trust it. But this gun resolves most of the issues. Now, I know Harry's Holsters and other folks out there have had problems with it, and that's not being able to go into battery. This gun has not had that problem. So this gun's been shooting. This little tiny thing shoots better than many bigger handguns that I own, and it has the optics cut on it. And the thing, just like the original P365, was dead reliable right up until they broke. Now, one of the things that they've changed with this that I talked about on Patreon, I wrote a whole big blog article about it. The slide on this thing is 1 ounce heavier. They have an increased spring rate. Yet again, they have a treated tip on this thing, so it's extremely hard. They've changed the profile of the striker tip on this thing. The XL has no striker drag on the primers. That's one big concern. Also, keep in mind, we're dealing with little tiny handguns like this. They have a very short dwell time, and that's hard on guns. Making a gun this small, this lightweight, and shooting it a lot is a very difficult thing to accomplish, and shooting a lot and not breaking something. So Sig's pushing the boundaries. They really, really are. The true magic in the P365 is the patent that they have on this little tiny magazine. This one's a 12 rounder. This little thing with 1 round in the pipe is 13 rounds, and it is tiny, and it shoots every bit as good as a larger handgun as I have. So I really want to like it. This one's running great. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it and shoot it and shoot it, and hopefully I don't break it. A lot of people out there have P365s that haven't broken. And, you know, take a look at our road trips. How many times, if you follow me on Instagram, do I post a picture of me with the Sig Rattler in a backpack? That's my get-home gun. If I hated Sig so much, I wouldn't be carrying around a Rattler in a backpack with an OSS can on it and super and subsonic ammunition. I don't hate them. I'm carrying this little thing. I was madly in love with the first one until it, at 800 rounds, it broke a spring. I think, hopefully, the XL is an evolutionary step forward for the whole gun. And I know some people out there having problems with them, but this one finally, God willing, I got a working one, and I'm so impressed with it. I was shooting a target 100 yards today with it with just some federal Syntec ammunition, and I'm able to hit a man-sized target 100 yards with this little tiny thing. It shoots extremely flat. I can shoot very, very quickly. I love the cut for the red dot sight, and It has a great site picture, an absolutely great site picture. Everything about it I love. I just hope that I have a working one. So yeah, it's not about beating up on companies. I have no grudges against companies. And I would gladly talk to Sig and help them resolve problems. They just hate my guts at this point. The culture over there, based upon ex-employees I've talked to, is just horrendous. Yeah, it's a pretty sad state of affairs over there. Thanks for all your honesty. It goes a long way. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Here we go. Another one. Boom, we're hitting that hour mark. I'm going to have to drop off here because I know Jason has to drop off. He's moderating. Guys, please don't cuss. Please don't do anything like that because we have to moderate. We have to take you off the chat because it's not that we're just trying to be heavy-handed. YouTube will kill this chat stream. They will stop it if you're out there making crazy, nasty, dirty, racist, whatever comments. It will actually cause the stream to be pulled down and give us an account strike, so that's why we have to clean it up. All right, Jeffersonville, Indiana, Patreon supporter here. Go Hoosiers, brother. Thank you so much, guys. Again, I love our Patreons, man. I swear, when we got demonetized, I really panicked. I didn't know what to do, so I went to Patreon because I seen Ian from Forgotten Weapons was over there. I wanted to give it a try, and you guys immediately went over there and started supporting us. And man, because keep in mind, we do this professionally. You'll see some trolls out there with troll channels saying that, we're rolling in the money and it's just, they're just making crazy amounts of money. Actually, no, we're not. We're on a very strict budget that's supporting 2 families, and we're trying our best to grow the channel. And yes, we're doing this for profit. It's not like this is a hobby for me. This is a full-time job. It's 7 days a week. It's something that, it's crazy. Sure. People say, well, it's nuts wanting to be a full-time YouTuber. Well, the original promise was you can make your own content. They would put AdSense out there, monetize it, and you could do this for a living. I think people should be able to do this for a living. This is entertainment. This is 21st century entertainment. It's killing television. You know how many people send me notes saying, I don't even have DirecTV anymore. I don't have cable. We watch Hulu, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Netflix. And that's the way it's going. That's what we do in our household. And so this is the future of entertainment, and entertainers have to make a living too. And especially if we want to grow and bring in more people. I love to get a professional editor. I do all the editing. Jason shoots the video, and I do all the editing, and on the on-camera side work as well. And it's a lot of work for just 2 people. Thanks for the content, man. Thank you for the support. All right, let's see. Trying to catch up here. Boom, $50. Jeez, you guys are so generous. Super chat. Let's see. Hey, Mac, I have 2 Tantals. Oh, I'm so jealous. I don't even have 1 Tantal. I had one that didn't work. I had to get rid of it. It was a Century. I had to send it back to him. And 2 Set Me L's that I've built. Wow, I no longer have the time to complete. Oh, you have builds. You have no longer time to complete. I need a connection somewhere to send them in the Midwest to get them all the way done. So the only 2 companies I know doing the Set Me L's are Malcomar and HMG. So you might want to reach out to those guys, or you can give Copper a call and maybe they can help facilitate that. With the Tantal kits, Definitive Arms, man. Contact Definitive Arms. They're in the Copper Custom building. We're like co-located, 2 separate businesses, but Chase is there and he can build you the best Tantal on the market. And yeah, one of the most gifted, true AK gunsmiths out there. There's so many AK builders out there, I'm not going to mention any names, that don't know their rear end from a hole in the ground when it comes to AKs. They're rivet mashers, and they butcher things, and Chase winds up having to fix a lot of their work. Chase is the guy to go to. He's the only guy I let touch my stuff. Let's see. What do we got here? Boom. Okay. Let's see. The price is right. Okay. You're my go-to channel for the 2A. Stay awesome, bro. No, thank you. And you stay awesome. We try to do everything we can, but there's a lot of other good channels out there. Some of them are in here right now. Check them all out, man. It's not like we're all competing for the time, like the 7 or 8 o'clock time slot. People surf, and be sure you check out other channels. There's a lot of good channels out there. There's some smaller channels out there that are putting out some really good content. It's just hard for them. We got started in this 11 years ago, so it was easy for us to start growing early. You've got channels that are coming in the last couple of years, and they're fighting against, the YouTube algorithms, and they're fighting against just a sea of new content creators, and it's really hard for them to get noticed. So please check out some of the smaller channels too, man. They're doing some great work out there. We're going to have to wind this down here really soon. Looks like it's not shrinking anymore. It's like staying big now. Picking up my BCM tomorrow. Thanks for the introducing me to such a great gun company. Do you have Discord or anything similar? We're having Discord set up. One of our Patreons helping me do that. We're going to get Discord set up through Patreon. And yes, we will have a Discord channel. BCM, we're going to continue that video series. We're like 4,100 some rounds through it without cleaning it, lubricating it, doing nothing. And we're going to be shooting another one of those videos this week, maybe next week for sure. And hopefully we'll get it to 5,000 or 6,000 rounds in the next video. We got to do another accuracy test and see if the accuracy is degraded at all after 5,000 rounds. And we're doing 5 or 6 magazines at a time. And we're getting that thing really, really hot. You can see in some of the video, the gas tube is visibly glowing red in broad daylight. And so we're really being harder on the rifle than we originally thought we're going to be. So it's not only getting dirty, it's getting really, really abused. And so far, 4,000 rounds in without a single hiccup. Except for one that was mag-related, Lancer magazines. All right, let's see. Biggest downfall of the gun community as a whole, I think the infighting. And that's why you'll never see us taking part in the online flame wars between Second Amendment parties. I'm not going to insert myself into the middle of it. I don't think any good comes from it. And I think there's a difference between doing that and calling out gun companies that are doing things like donating money to anti-gun organizations or making anti-gun statements or backing anti-gun groups. There's a difference there. My peers in social media, I don't want to make call-out videos. I don't want to make videos that partake in flame wars. Nothing good comes of it. It takes people's attention off the stuff that's really important. And what's really important is that we unite and fight for our Second Amendment. Everything else is just noise. All right. Another super chat. Thank you. No comment or question. Here we go. Oh, I got to kill this other one over here. Okay. Nope. Click. All right. You helped me pick up a Kel-Tec RDB as a rifle now. The RDB. So I had a bad one. My very first one was a bad one. Had all sorts of problems with it. A year or so later, I picked up another one. And that one, the only gripe I have is I have to really open up the gas port almost to its widest setting just to get the gun to cycle, but it runs just fine. I've had no problems with it after doing that. All right, let's see. Longtime Patreon supporter, thank you so much, brother. $20. Thank you, Mark. Your video coming out tomorrow have anything to do with what you posted earlier on Instagram today? Because I really want one. Well, I posted the entire video over on Patreon, so run over there so you can watch it before it releases. And yes, it has everything to do with what I posted on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram, guys. We give you previews of what's up and coming. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss something there. All right. A little over an hour here. All right, Alaskan Ballistics. My wife is carrying a Glock 40 on our bike tonight. Outstanding choice. Yeah, I mean, you guys live in dangerous game territory. I mean, you have some real monsters out there. 10 millimeter, I think, as far as autoloaders go, it's just unbeatable, especially in something like a Glock, which is known for its reliability. I don't think there's a better handgun out there. I mean, sure, you can go with the Kunin, 357 Magnum, but you get a hot loaded 10 millimeter, and you're going to find that it's every bit as powerful as a 357 Magnum. And I think that, 15 rounds of 357 Magnum is not a bad thing. Sure beats 6 or 8 rounds of 357 Magnum. And I would say the Glock's more reliable than a revolver. And cue the angry comments from Yankee Marshall. All right, Super Chat. Thank you so much. Hey, Mac, involved with Rob Pincus, Save the 2A org. I've been working with Rob Pincus. I know that some folks have gotten mad at me, like, I won't support you if you support Rob. Guys, Rob is a die-hard Second Amendment advocate. You don't have to agree with everything he says, but yes, I back Rob Pincus. We've met many times. We've shot together. We hung out in Germany together. The guy is very dedicated. You don't have to agree with everything somebody says or does. You got to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at things holistically, because we really have to stop this bickering and infighting and focus more on our true enemies, especially going into an election cycle like 2020, because we stand a lot to lose if this Kamala Harris nutbag gets into the White House. She wants to just do away with executive orders, do away with federal firearms license holders, basically close down every gun shop in America. That means no more guns for anybody, because gun manufacturers can't sell firearms directly to consumers. That ended in 1968 with the NRA-backed Gun Control Act of 1968. All right. Here we go. We'll do a couple more and we're going to have to bug out, guys, because, man, an hour goes by so quick. But if you guys like this format, let me know. And, man, I can crank these things out. I mean, there's many nights where I can just, I have a free hour. I can pop down into the home office and do something like this versus doing it and staying late at Copper Custom. Still wanting to see the P365 XL slide on the P365. Man, it's the same thing, okay? So if you take the slide off this and put it on a P365, it's basically the same gun, but you lose the advantage of this slightly longer grip that's flared out, and I think that's awkward because the gun is very nose heavy. There's an added ounce of weight out here, and having it with the larger grip makes more sense. Trust me when I say it balances the gun better. I'll do it in a future video just so you guys can see it, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to like the way that it balances. This gun is extremely well balanced, and the recoil impulse for a gun that's so small and light, I've already said it multiple times in the video, is more docile, more controllable than guns much bigger full-size service pistols. It is a true engineering feat. I think Sig's biggest problem isn't their innovation. Sig is cranking out so many different guns, and not just that, they've tried to become the Walmart of the firearms community. It's not just firearms they're cranking out hundreds of thousands of every day. They're cranking out BB guns, clothing, knives, flashlights, thermal optics, glass optics, red dot sights. I mean, they've tried to become, they've lost their focus. When Sig just made handguns, Sig did amazing things. When they started getting into everything under the sun, they started to lose their way. And it's a true statement when you say that you can be a master of one thing, like they're all saying, like, fear a man with only owns one gun. That's true, because he's going to be a master with that one firearm. The same thing is when you're manufacturing things. Try to keep your focus, keep your core audience, and focus and do what you do well, extremely well. Don't diversify to the point where it causes the quality controls of all your products to suffer. That's a great way to kill a brand, and Sig is killing their brand. But I still love their products. They're innovative. I hate it when people say, I hate Sig. I'm not a Sig basher. I wouldn't keep buying the darn things and trying to get one that works if I hated them. Glad to be a Patreon supporter. Thank you so much, brother. For a while now, if you were to build a custom hunting rifle, 6.5 by 55, what action would you build it off of? Mauser, Remington, Savage? Thanks for everything. Well, Remington, unless you have a very qualified gunsmith, I wouldn't recommend. Now, what I would recommend is taking a look at a rifle called the Desa. It's a rifle that is coming out of Definitive Arms. They've been working on it, and it's been on social media for quite some time. And it's kind of funny. Some other people are out there. The Sharps brothers are trying to ride in on the work that Chase has already done, saying they innovated the inline stock with the 700 action, which is a complete joke because we've been posting pictures of the Desa for quite some time now, and Chase did that. And his implementation, in my opinion, is much better. But now he can take your Remington action, he can true it, put a good barrel on it, and I like the Remington action. Back when Remington made a quality firearm, I loved the Remington 700. You can still get their actions, you can still true them up, and you can still get a great shooting rifle. So I'm a big fan of the control feeding of the Remington 700. Savage makes a good gun too, but I would say a rebuilt, tuned, trued Remington 700 would probably be my preference, but Savage is a good alternative. And that's just one man's opinion, man. Don't put too much stock. I always tell people, don't buy a gun just because I like it, and certainly never sell a firearm because I don't. I'm not that egotistical. All right. In 1985, the AR-15 was sold next to the M16. The M16 was about $60 more, and some paperwork with the $200 tax. We have lost a lot. Yes, we have. And back then, if you'll remember, in those good old days before the 1986 machine gun ban, there were 3, I believe, instances where a legally owned machine gun was used in a crime of any type. When they took machine guns away, it wasn't because they posed some danger to society. They were a statistical 0. As a matter of fact, if you listen to what the anti-gunners are saying out there right now, there's over 40,000 Americans that die by gunfire in the United States. Yeah, about 80% of those are suicides. Sorry, it's sad, but do the Japanese blame the knives or the ropes when their culture has a very high suicide rate? No, they don't. In reality, about 8,000 Americans die in a criminal activity where a firearm is used. You're more likely to die in a bar fight with somebody using their hands and fists than you are to die by gunfire. You're more likely to die in a car accident. and it's not even a constitutionally protected item, than you are to die by gunfire. The anti-gun media has everybody so spun up thinking that if you step out of your house, you're just inevitably running the risk of dying by gunfire, and nothing can be further from the truth. And that's just borne out by FBI statistics. If you don't believe me, go look them up. Firearms are not the problem. Matter of fact, they present a very small problem in our society. None, if you ask me. They do far more good than they do bad, and people are always going to misuse things. You can't ban everything every time somebody misuses it. Think about how many people are going to go out and buy that new Corvette C8 and go 160 miles an hour down a highway and hit a minivan and wipe out an entire family. Are they going to go out there and call for the banning of the C8 Corvette or hot rods, the Demons and the ZR1s and the SL1s? No, because people realize they don't blame the car, they blame the driver. When somebody gets in a drunk driving accident and kills somebody, they don't blame the alcohol, they blame the driver. But when somebody goes out and commits a crime with a firearm, they blame the firearm. It's total hypocrisy. All right, guys, I'm going to have to jump off here. We're an hour, 20 minutes in, but thank you so much, and we'll do these more often. Redneck Sniper, $10. Thank you so much, brother. You and Eric are the reason I bought a M1917. Very, very cool rifle, and it's my favorite rifle. Love it even more than my Grand. Thanks for 10 years of entertainment and a sub since '09. Thank you, brother. Man, that's early on. We started in '08. And for the milsurp addiction, man, I tell you what, I always tell people, buy milsurps now. They're never going to get cheaper, and they're solid investments. And yeah, the 1917 is an amazing rifle, and we definitely need to do like my favorite bolt-action rifles of the Great War or something like that, because I got some pretty cool stuff, and I got some old Enfields and stuff, some Constabulary carbines and things like that. I've just not had time to get them into videos. It's kind of a hard thing for me because I know a lot of people like the new high-speed stuff, and they don't really get into the older stuff, but I know there's a good contingent of you guys out there that like the old milsurp stuff, and honestly, that's where my heart lies. And it just seems like when I do the old milsurp rifle videos and handgun videos, they don't get the same traction that, you know, the latest P365 video gets. But that's not going to stop us from doing them, because that's where my true passion lies. All right, let's see. Any more quick questions here? Oh, I got to get rid of one before I add another one. Super chat from Israel. Okay, Ultimac on an AK, proper install and recommended optics. Don't put an Ultimac on your AK. I did a video many years ago showing how fast an Ultimac got a red dot sight and aim point up past 160 degrees. On a hot summer day in a rifle course where you're running 5 mags through your rifle in quick succession, the safe operating temperature by almost every red dot sight manufacturer I know out there is 160 degrees. The Ultimac takes those hot venting gases from the propulsion of the bullet down the barrel, and it puts that heat right on that gas tube. And within 5 magazines, you're going to be over 160 degrees. So you're going to take that $800 sight, and you're going to half its service life because you're heating it up too much. And so I am not a fan of Ultimacs. I think that they're a horrible idea, and they've been surpassed by better technology out there. So I don't put Ultimacs on my AKs. I gave that up 6-7 years ago when I found out just how much damage they were doing to the red dot sights. Thank you, man, for a $20 super chat. Love you guys. Met you and Jason at Top Shot. What a great time. Man, we need to go back there. I know we're working on that. Wish I had the cash at the time, but I didn't. Will Copper carry any more German AKSs? Yes, there are some German builds, some kits that Copper had sitting around. I just spoke with Chase today, and there are going to be a few trickling out, but these are primo kits, like all serial number matching with original barrel guns, and they're going to be kind of pricey, but the kits have dried up, man. We paid so much for those kits, and but yeah, but you know, look, we're always on the lookout. One of the reasons why I went to Europe and EWA was to try to find sources of kits and trying to find guns that we could have cut down and shipped into the United States so we can continue to build them. We're doing everything we can to get these guns on the market, and you know, it's tough, but we're trying to find them, man. But these kits have been flowing into the country, man, for 15 years or more, and we're really kind of getting to the bottom of the barrel. Finding good kits is getting kind of tough. Milsurp Mike Channel, another great guy, man. Check this guy out. I love his stuff. Just some more support, hunting video suggestion. Do a trip using a stock milsurp. Guys, you don't know how many times we talked about this. Or even a Civil War percussion cap rifle. We have talked about this, I got to do it. I just got to do it. I got to find a way. It'd probably be something really affordable like pig hunting, but I want to take like my M1D sniper rifle down and go pig hunting, or my 1903A4 sniper rifle, SVD, something like that, and go out and do some hunting with it. I think that would be awesome content. We bounced that idea around many times. It's just we haven't gotten to it, but we really, really need to. We really do. I think that would be fun for even people that don't really get into milsurps. All right. Thanks for supporting the 3D Gun CAD community, guys. Print away. Do everything you can to improve that. Get metal printers if you can, and make all the firearms you can. It's perfectly legal, and even if it weren't legal, if things went sideways, we're going to need you guys, and we're going to need your help. So, all right, going to have to pop off here. I'm going to grab one more. All right, thoughts on a second Civil War? Likely or not, what would be the last straw to get you to join the armed march on D.C.? The U.S. is the biggest country in the world. I'm born in a commie Sweden, but we have a long way to go here. Look, man, I am not advocating for a civil war. I think we need to try to fix things every way we possibly can using the mechanisms given to us by our founding fathers. Civil wars are ugly. Look at Kosovo. Look at other places that have gone through modern civil wars. It's horrible. It's bloody. It's not something you want to do. I don't want my kids being killed by my neighbors. The reality of a civil war is you think that you're invincible and you're going to go out there and you're going to kill all the bad guys and set the world straight. But the reality is you're just as likely to get killed. Your family is just as likely to get killed. And I don't think it's something that we should push for. We should push against it and try to resolve our differences peacefully. But that's not to say if things go too far that it's not our obligation to do that. I don't think we're there yet. I hope we never get there. But the government needs to know if they push too far, that is the end result. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. All right, I keep saying we're at the end, but you guys keep doing the super chats. Longtime Patreon supporter here, proud to be part of the Mac family. Have you ever looked into the Rebel silencers out of Texas? I have not, man. There's so many silencer companies out there, and thank you so much, man, for the Patreon support. Haven't looked into them. There's so many silencers out there, but maybe, if they reach out to us, like we have a standing invitation. So we have a Brulua Care meter, and we can do professional testing. If anybody has a suppressor company and they want to come out here and spend an afternoon with us, doing testing of their suppressors, we have an open invite to anybody to come out and do that. But the only stipulation is we get to post the video. If the numbers don't look good, unless we can find something wrong with the setup, we have to post it. So be sure, be careful what you ask for. Open invite, but if you don't like the numbers, doesn't matter. We're posting it anyway. All right. Oh, dude, look at you, man. If you keep doing these super chats, I'm going to have enough to actually afford a trip up there to go hunting. Going on a mountain bike ride tonight. Wife is carrying the G40. I'm carrying the G29. 10mm rocks. I carry hard cast. The best for dangerous game. Hard cast bullets at high velocity. Those Federal JSPs and UWXPs. The new Federal ammunition is actually super hot. I'm so glad to see them putting that out there. I really like the new Federal 10mm, and I was carrying some of that, and also some of the Underwood, the Lehigh stuff is superb. Absolutely superb. CS Specs makes great mags for Vepr 12 and the 308. So I've heard good and bad about CS Spec mags. I've seen them splitting and cracking and doing all sorts of stuff. I have no personal experience with them, but I've heard lots of people say they're good. But I've also seen pictures of them not being so good. So yeah, I prefer to have the actual Russian mags for the Vepr 12, and for the 308. Yeah, definitely give them a try. Because there's not a whole lot of options out there for the Vepr 308. All right, guys. Let's see. Oh, here's a big one. We got to do this one. Longtime viewer and patron supporter recently picked up an OA93 carbine. Oh man, that's going back. Any recommendations for a good optic? Man, you know what? It depends on how much money you want to spend. Primary Arms makes a great red dot sight for an affordable price, all the way up to Trijicon MRO, another one of my favorites for a more affordable price, all the way up to a Comp M5 or a T2 Micro, which is my favorite. I wish I could afford to put an aim point on every gun I have, but the reality is I just can't. The new Aimpoint Acro is a great sight. I think that would do good on carbines. And maybe a little bit big for handguns. We'll talk more about that in a future video. But I think on a carbine, it's right. We just need some good mounts. All right, guys. Alaska Ballistics, you're killing me, brother. All right. Let's see. Look in here. Okay, so everybody's asking. So look, IWI sent out Masadas to every gun channel and blogger and magazine out there. I was kind of surprised. Yes, I do have one. I'm just kind of waiting for everybody else to be first in front of the camera. You know, we've had it for several months, and through one revisionary change, and we've been shooting it. And I will say that the gun is awesome. The gun is really good. The only problem the gun faces is coming into a very, very crowded market, going up against the well-established Glock and the M&P and the XD series of handguns and all the other stuff that's already out there. I mean, they're going to have to fight for every single sale. But the ergonomics are good. The fact that it's, you know, cut for a red dot sight, the trigger is spectacular. Everything about the gun is just good. But there are other guns out there like the Walther PPQ that have the same ergonomics, same balance, and same capabilities of putting red dot sights on them, same exceptional trigger, if not better trigger. So again, it's a very flooded marketplace, and I wish them luck. But it's a solid pistol, man. I mean, IWI does not mess around. You're talking about a company that builds firearms for a nation that's in a constant state of war. So their stuff has to be locked on. And yeah, the Masada seems to carry on with that tradition of quality from IWI. All right, guys, I am going to have to wind this one down. 1776, great choice, love that. Thermal Defense Solutions, they make advanced silencers and materials. Contact them, Ed Willis and Andrew Edge. They're only known with 3-letter agencies and others. If you need anything, let me know. Shoot me an email. Are those the guys that did the see-through suppressors for testing? I want to say that was them. I can't remember. Again, there's so many suppressor companies out there, but I'm always open to new ideas. Right now, for gas guns, I run OSS, just simply what I do for gas guns, for bolt actions and things like that. Like you'll see in my hunting video, running Griffin Armament. They make some really cool, especially for hunting rifles, lightweight cans that can handle up to 338 Lapua. And but yeah, there's so many good companies out there, so many new companies. I wish I could. Oh, I don't know what I did there. All right. I wish I could talk about more of them. All right, guys, gonna have to wind this one down. Let's see. I have a cool video shooting with 2. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna wind it down. It's gone on now for an hour and a half. It's a little bit longer than I wanted to, but we'll do these again. Let me know in the comments below if you like this format, just a random evening chat, just talking about events of the day and answering the questions like we did tonight, and letting you guys have some one-on-one time with us. And we greatly appreciate the support. If you'd like to support us directly, again, we are viewer supported. Patreon is how we fund, so there is a link down below. Consider becoming a Patreon supporter, and also swing by, check us out at Copper Custom. And we tried to do a Twitch stream tonight, but Jason had to update his PS4, a lot of updates, and so he didn't get on Twitch tonight, so I decided to do a real quick live stream. So, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support, and we will talk to you guys very soon.